Alright, so today we're going to talk about this new library I wrote called context-lemur, and I'm just going to walk you around it and different patterns for how I personally have been using it quite a bit lately. So let's get started. First off, I'll assume you have already gone through the installation process. It's an easy pip install kind of thing. So if you have that, you should have access to a CLI tool called context. Now, you can create new context, for example, context new, my new project. And this will automatically create a context folder for you where you'll have, you can just see what's inside it, the very basic template. So a context file that explains things, the goals of the project, rules, and these are things that you should keep up to date with alongside your LLMs. So I'll show you exactly kind of how that works, but I'll load in an actual more active context. So, we can list which contexts are available, and I'm gonna take back my own, so context switch, and we're going to actually go to context-lemur. So now in context-lemur, we can see what's actually in there. There's a few more files. You can also have folder-like structures if you'd like. And so where this really shines is I can now go to Claude desktop, for example, start a brand new chat, and I'm just going to say context load. That's all. And because I've already set this up as an MCP server as well, it immediately knows what to do. It's going to fetch the context, and it's going to know what we're up to right now, what are our current focuses, priorities, how do we architecture this thing. And this is where it's kind of your job to ideate with Claude Desktop or whatever other LLM you prefer, and make sure that things are constantly up to date. Now, once you have a new idea or something else, you can just ask it directly in the chat to update your context files for you, and it has all the tools that it needs to do that. So once you're ready to start implementing, the really nice thing is that this is super portable. So you can now go to Cursor, for example, and just say context load, and just say start implementing next step. There's a typo there, but who cares? And you'll see, it already knows to run the tool, but I can also go do this using Claude Code. So this is the actual repository for context-lemur, and if I just spin up Claude Code, I can say context load, and it'll already have the context that it needs to have. So the way that this works is it basically does a cat of all the text or markdown files at the top level of the repository, and you then over time kind of manage these different things. So every time you hit context load, it already knows basically what you want it to know in that moment, and that's for you to manage. What are the things that it needs to know, your next steps, the things you've already tried, the things that have failed, if it's in the middle of a debug. So that's basically it. Now, why use this and not use like Cursor rules or Claude MD? Well, really, it comes out of it, like what I've noticed is that these tools keep on changing, right? Claude Code wasn't even around just a few months ago. Cursor was around, but then maybe tomorrow there may be some other IDE, and they all have their own way of managing things, and I just thought it'd be really nice to have my own way of managing files and context. That'll never change, and I can just get used to this one workflow and bring it everywhere I go. So that's basically it. Hope you found this interesting. Hope you'll give it a shot, and let me know if you end up actually using it.